We're losing! Teamwork, guys, more teamwork. They're burying us alive!
Well, shit.
Jeez, Louie.
Honey, don't you want to beat those bastards? In my book, we're gonna be winners.
Listen, I ain't got nothing left for you to sign, because you're training like a damn bum, you know that?
Screw them.
What are you doing? What are people doing?
Is this early access to?
Hey, let me tell you something, bro.
Get out there now and do the best you can.
Welcome to episode 18 of the Bad Fodder Figures podcast. This is Captain Mike M, as always. And once again this week we are a power trio, but we've swapped out the power and muscle of Eric and have brought in Jeremy. So last week I said we were like Motorhead, a power trio. This week we're more Fly, like the Beastie Boys.
And we're 18. We're legal now, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir. All right. Don't give up your right to party.
Keep going.
Worse than that.
That's all you got?
We need the cricket sound after that one.
Bow, bow, doo, doo, doo. Go back to that.
Wow.
Well, welcome, gentlemen. Another Sunday night, and we're here to talk and entertain the masses. Jeremy, you were missed last week, so welcome back. We did talk some dad stuff last week, isn't it? It was very weird that you weren't here, and we kicked up a little discussion on that with the unfortunate circumstances that are going on. Did you happen to listen in, Jeremy?
Of course.
Did you have any thoughts maybe that you wanted to share before we kick off? As you were listening, did you have any thoughts that came to mind? Did you have a discussion with your little ones about this at all, or no?
No, we've had no discussions. There was an email that came from the school from the superintendent that basically said, a lot of the same stuff you guys talked about as far as in classroom training and having the the police officers, I can't remember, resource officers, is that it?
Right.
But basically this was hey, we're aware and we're taking steps. We always have been and stuff like that. But the kids haven't really asked anything. But I do remember probably, I think it was earlier this year, my daughter came home and they were talking about like a fire drill and tornado drill and stuff like that. And then she said, I can't remember what she called, but it was a drill for that situation, which I had never thought of really, because that's not something we worried about when we were kids. So adding that to the list of get into the stairwell or hide under your desk with your book over your head for a tornado or whatever, it's just, I guess it's a new type of thing or just a new thing for these days. But yeah.
Well, enough of that. I'm glad you tuned in and listened, and yeah, it is what it is, and hopefully the next 90 minutes or so will be a distraction from all that shit. Because really, any social media channel that I go on these days, you can't avoid it. Everybody's talking about it. It's a, as they say, a hot button issue
right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I will say that, Mike, you were correct in your assessment last weekend. Not necessarily that I couldn't get out of bed, which is why I wasn't on, but we did want to spend a little more time together, just because she's actually about to start a new semester with with school, where she's going to have double the class load of what she has had, and she's picked up some extra weekends and stuff. So basically, that was going to be the last time we got to spend some time together before
Nice.
who knows when, probably summer. So yeah. It was a tough choice, but family first. So,
Gotcha.
Was there moon smoothies?
no, not that night. Nope.
No.
Oh.
What did Chewy say last night? Just around the rim, Matt. Matt still said no, thank you.
No, I'm good.
Good.
What if you tickle it with your nose? So it's not quite
Just blow some hot air on it.
Yeah.
See if it blows back to you. See if it reciprocates.
and so you're not going to hump your ear.
Oh, let's move on.
No, thank you.
So, whatchamacallit, last week we announced that we're doing a scavenger hunt, and we've nailed down the prize and the rules and the first question. So let's dive into that very quickly here. First, the prize pack is going to be a Xbox code for PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, an Amazon Echo, brand new, unopened Amazon Echo, and a game code, for a full game, $60 game code of your choice. Steam, Xbox, PS4, Nintendo, whatever you want. You can even mix and match if that's what you like. If you want, three $20 things, we can do that as well. We can get creative out there, folks.
Within reason.
Within reason, yeah. I mean, if you're really pushing it, then we might try to go pound sand and pick someone else. Just saying. So let's tell them, Matthew, what the first question. Now, again, this is going to go, you got to go back and listen to episode 17 last week. All right, this isn't supposed to be easy. It's supposed to put in some work. You're supposed to got to listen.
Yes.
Listen to win. So, Matt, tell them what the question number one that they have to answer.
Question number one from last week's show, episode 17. What game do we need to play to appease our Discord fans? What game do we need to play to appease our Discord fans?
Grab ass. Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to say that.
Oh, no, you're not eligible to win, Jeremy.
Sorry.
So we got one of those fancy Google forms that you can fill out. I'll give you the web address now. It's tiny.cc/BFF Hunt. HUNT. So again, that's tiny.cc/BFF Hunt. HUNT.
And later in the show, we will have question 2 for you.
Yes, which pertains to this episode, so you got to keep on listening. Remember, listen to win.
Yes, sir.
So that's a prize pack over $100 there, so hopefully that is enjoyable to you people out there and worth it. So, enter as you like. If not, we'll just keep the prizes for ourselves and go on our merry way.
Sweet. I like that. No one wins.
Speaking about more free games, I know how you guys like your free stuff, and Jeremy, you're trying to stay to your backlog and not buy anything new. And I know that all of us here are Twitch Prime members. They're rolling out a new indie program. It's called the Indie Amplifier Program. So you can go to your Twitch Prime account, and there's going to be a couple games that you can choose from. So if I open up mine right now, I see that I have a choice between SteamWorld Dig 2, Tomb of Annihilation, Tumblestone, and there's a couple other ones there. So basically, you pick which one you'd be interested in. You cast your vote. And then when Amazon decides that this contest will be up, I'm assuming it's going to be monthly or something like that. Whoever's got the most votes, that's the game they're going to be giving out for free. And they're also going to be spotlighting each game on Twitch at twitch.tv/Twitch Prime. And so you can see all the games that you're voting on if you're curious about them, or you got free time in the day and you want to check out some indie games, you can do this. But this is another way to sort of take advantage of your Twitch Prime, so to speak. You already pay that. What's it up to now, Matt? About $80, $75?
Something like that.
Something like that a year. So another way that you can take advantage of that, get a free indie game. So you can vote now and come back on March 15th, it says, and you get your winning game for free. Of course, if you use Twitch Prime anyways, you get some free stuff. You should always be clicking on those red things up in the upper right-hand corner. Claim your offers for free games or in-game loot and stuff like that. So, wanted to pass along those savings. I know you guys like to count your money, penny pinch. So Are you going to be voting, Matt? Have you looked at the list? Have you weighed the pros and cons? Have you picked out a leader in the pack yet?
So many questions coming at me. I haven't really looked at it yet. This is the first time hearing about it, so I'll check it out and see what's there. Free is always a good thing. Quicken likes free, so nothing's going in and out that way.
I can cast a vote for you, but then I could be accused of voter impersonation or something like that, and then we go through all those rules and regulations.
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you're into the indie scene. I know you like to play some oddball games here and there. Any of these titles? I don't know too many of these titles. I voted for Tales from Candlekeep Tomb of Annihilation, just because it couldn't be a longer name. It's got to be the longest name in video game history. Again, Tales.
I'm not against that reasoning. No, I haven't really picked any of them. I know I played Steam World because I think that was a PS Plus game one month, and that was kind of meh for me anyway. But I like the fact that Twitch is doing this and that we get free games with them and stuff. I just wish it wasn't tied to the Twitch client that you have, because that's really the only reason why I have that as installed, is to claim those games. So I've got enough game clients already. I don't need another one to have to go to. But hey, free is free, so I'm not going to complain for too much.
I uninstalled their client. I just keep claiming those things because I'm saying to myself I'll reinstall it at some point. I think the first time I had it, though, it was pretty much like a Discord. Is that true? And it has some other stuff functionality to it now as well?
I haven't used it too much. I do know it's basically the same interface as when you go into their web page, though. Like as far as if you want to set up a stream, change all of that stuff. It's like I don't need another thing to set all this up, and I definitely don't need a whole other app to pull up if I am going to go and do that when I've already got other apps that I need to use to stream or to the game itself and stuff. It just seems like a big resource hog, and I get it. It's theirs. They want people to use it, but
sure. Speaking about game clients and other accounts, this just rang a bell that there's now something called My PlayStation. We've had MyFace, we have Instagram, we still have Facebook and LinkedIn and things like that. Now we have My PlayStation, and it might be the most underwhelming thing I've ever seen in my life. It's just you know how you go into the PS4 and you can go up into your profile and see, basically, you can select an image, and it's basically, this website is a mirror image of what you would look at your own profile inside the PS4. So you can see your bio, you can see who your friends are. If you selected a header, that's visible as well. I don't know why you need this, but if you want, there's something called My PlayStation, a new social destination on the web.
Oh boy, why do we need that?
Yeah. All right. Last week we talked about a segment we're going to do this week called Matt Goes Sour. And the other people could participate as well. Jeremy, I'm not sure if you have a sour beer. If you don't, that's fine.
No.
We'll have to reconvene when we go back to a quartet. We'll have to have a more sour taste. And maybe as the weather turns a little warmer. I always think of sour beer as more as a summerish.
Oh, now you tell me.
But I thought that, when I went to Wegmans the other day, I go, I don't see too many sours. That's seasonal. He's like, no. Well, come over here, and he showed me a whole bunch of them. So what the fuck do I know? Anyways, it's a long-winded way of saying that we're going to have a segment here. Matt Goes Sour, because Matt hates two things about beer. He hates sour beer, and he hates fruity beer.
Yeah. Is
that correct, Matt?
That is correct. Correct.
So tell us, first of all, tell us where you went to procure this fine sour.
Yeah, there's a place in town here called Country Fresh Produce Market, and they've got a big beer and wine section also. Mm-hmm. So I went there and talked to the beer guy there. I said, I need some sour beers. He said, oh, you're a fan of sours? I said, no, I'm not. I actually hate sour beer. And then he kind of gave me one of them cockeyed looks like, what? I said, it's a long story, dude. So where's the sour beers at? So he took me over to the section of sour beers, and I picked a few of them out. And as Mike said, I hate fruity beers and I hate sour beers. So what best to do tonight but get a fruity sour beer is what I picked up.
So tell us what you're drinking tonight.
Okay, I am drinking a peach lambic Belgian peach beer. Okay, it's a big bottle. It costs $12. The bottle not only had a bottle cap on it, but it also had a cork in it. So
I'm not sure if you bought a sour beer.
I looked it up and the guy said, yeah, that's a sour beer. Lambics. He said Lambics are sour beers. Now I don't know if Denny still listens or not, but
who?
I'm sure he could chime in. Denny Loose Screw.
I haven't heard from that guy in
I know it's been
a
forever.
dog's age.
Yeah. So I just poured it in my glass here, and I'm sniffing it, and wow, that's I smell the peach definitely.
Check it with your nose.
Just look around the rim of the glass, man.
Yeah, just around the rim.
All right.
Okay.
So you're you got your Simpsons mug, your glass out, right?
Yeah, I got my Simpsons glass.
Don't drink it yet. Pour it in and tell us what the color. What does the color of this beer look like?
It looks like a Bud Light or Miller Lite. A little bit more cloudy, but it's got that same light yellowish color.
Without the lacing,
like a Bud Light. What's that?
Without the lacing, man. Very important. Without the lacing.
Right now, it's got a small head on it. The lacing on it. When I take a drink, I'll be able to tell you more on that because it's just kind of floating around when I twirl the glass around with the glass. So as I take a drink, I'll have to let you know what that looks like. But it looks quite carbonated there. The bubbles are coming up. About an 1/8-inch head on it. And okay, so here I go.
So what's gonna be a strategy? A big gulp, a sip. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to take it like a regular beer, like I would drink.
Take it. I thought you were gonna say something. All right, keep
Like take it like a real man.
I'm not going to be chugging this thing, but here. All right, here we go.
All right, here we go.
Tell us about the mouthfeel.
Yep.
Oh, woo. Oh man, it gives me the shivers. It makes me kind of shake. That sour. Not sour. It's peachy. There's definitely peaches in it. It's bubbly for sure. Oh, that's hold on.
He's throwing up.
He's got a spit bucket. No,
Ooh.
I'm not trying to tell you how to do your business here, but if you were going to buy a beer that you didn't like, right? Why would you spend $12, and why would you get a big bottle like this? Why they
go big or go home, Mike? Go big or go home. Is why I'm doing it for the podcast.
All right, and so now that you've had some of this and you've tasted it, you think you're gonna be able to finish this?
I might. I don't know. By the way, there's hardly any lacing on the beer. There's nothing sticking to the glass.
All right. We need an official, maybe Bibbs, or if Denny listens, we need someone to weigh in and give us the name of the beer again.
Peach Lambic Belgian Peach Beer. The actual name I can't really pronounce, okay, so I'm not going to try it. So, but the style of the beer and the name of it, Peach Lambic Belgian Peach Beer.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm looking this up here on Beer Advocate. Just to see if you have followed proper procedure here.
Oh shit!
It's got a 3.94 rating on it.
Is that good or bad?
Out of
500? Out of 5.
Oh, okay.
I just took another sip. Ooh, it just makes me shiver every time I take a drink of it.
I'm not seeing anything in these reviews here, Matt. That are saying it's a sour beer.
Well,
they said here it's a fruity beer.
It's fruity. You can definitely taste the peach.
Could you change this to Matt Goes Fruity?
Matt's I was just going to say Matt's a fruit.
Well, I've got another sour beer we can try next week. It actually says on the label sour beer. So,
but that's what I'm saying. So if if Denny or Bibbs or anybody else who's a beer aficionado is out there, maybe SpongeBobby's listens. I don't know if he made the jump over or not. They can let us know if they consider this an official sour beer.
An official sour beer, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if not, I've got another one in the fridge that we can do next week, and we'll see how that goes.
Someone says this is one whole cohesive array of balanced, delicious flavors. Wonderful peach and apple on the tongue, a beautiful gold body and white head in the glass. I will definitely need to be trying more lambics.
Yeah, I don't see that.
What was those things in Gears of War with lambics?
Oh shit! What were the things?
Yeah,
lambics. Lambics. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you have that. There, Matt has gone maybe sour. I'm gonna put air quotes in there. You might have gone sour on us.
That's what happens when you don't shower and you start to smell like cabbage.
So do you feel disappointed? Do you feel like, hey, no big deal, or sticking to your guns? This is still garbage.
I'll drink it throughout the show, and we'll see as the show goes on when I start slurring my speech and stuff. But how it goes.
Now, I know your wife's working. Do you think this would be a beer that she would enjoy?
She might actually like this beer. She might actually like this because you can really taste the peach in it.
All right.
She might like this.
Moving on here, one of our esteemed callers, Vaughn, sort of stumped us last week, right? And he wanted to know what 2 series would we mash up. So the example he gave us was like Mario and Rabbids. I think someone else said, Link in the Witcher series or something like that. Now that we've had a week to stew on this, has anybody come up with ideas? Jeremy, if you listened, did anything come to mind when you heard that? Any 2 universes that you'd like to see collide?
Sort of, yeah. So, and they actually, I think, mentioned this on a recent Bombcast. But I want to see the Injustice game. The Injustice, so that's the DC superheroes fighting in the fighting game done by the Mortal Kombat people. But I want to see the same thing with Marvel. So maybe even like a Marvel versus DC and that type of game. Mm-hmm. But then I also want to flip it around, because Marvel's typically more of a Street Fighter universe type thing. I want to see DC characters brought into a Marvel game. So I want DC versus Marvel on both type of platforms or different style of fighting games.
Gotcha. Excellent. Matt, have you had a hot minute to think about this?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking of something like a Nathan Drake and like a platformer, like Rayman Rabbids, or that goddamn fucking game, or Mario or something like that. I think Nathan Drake would be a great platformer guy, going around, bouncing around off walls and stuff like that, or something like a like Sonic in a RPG type of situation. Gotcha. With like Gerard, like a sidekick to Gerard or something in The Witcher. Mm-hmm. A little pet.
Yeah, I kept going back to The Witcher, and I think with the new God of War that's coming out, I think I'd like to see a Kratos in the Witcher universe. I think that could be cool. I don't know if that could be the ultimate boss that he has to fight, or if they would be friend or foe. I'm not sure yet. But I think that'd be kind of cool. I was also toying with taking the biggest franchise on each system and mashing it together. So, if we had to say what is the biggest franchise on Xbox, would we say it's Gears or Halo?
Gears or Halo, yeah, yeah.
So, maybe one of those like mashed up with I don't know, people from, I don't know if Uncharted would be a fix. Maybe maybe it has, God of War, I guess, or what was their other game there that they it was a launch title on the PS4. That guy that can
Killzone?
No, the other one.
Oh, Infamous. Infamous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be cool to see those 2 systems, sort of meet in the middle and have their characters, interplay with each other. But it's a tough question, man. I think like last week I said Spider-Man and Batman could be a cool fit, or adversaries. Mm-hmm. Excellent question, Vaughn. As we go along out there, and you listeners, if you have any sort of ideas, definitely leave us a voicemail or tweet at us your suggestions, and we'll read them out over the airwaves. But let's, like we did last week, let's jump right into the news, and then we'll get to some of those voicemails that I just talked about. So hold on one second.
Really? Okay, do you hear what he just said? He just said, why don't you, for once in your life, just do the fucking news? All right, no, I'm gonna do the fucking news. No, here is the fucking news.
All right, news is a little short this week. Got 4 stories here that I want to go over. Of course, we always talk about the Battle Royale games, so let's talk about PUBG. Jeremy, have you been playing PUBG at all? Have you won any chicken dinners? Any sort of status update?
Nope, nothing new.
Nothing new there. Okay.
Yep.
Well, you might be able to try your luck by the end of June. They're going to be releasing supposedly a new map. Okay, they say they've been sort of sidetracked in doing some things because the cheating has gotten out of hand. It's become a serious issue, so that sort of delayed them on a number of fronts. But come next month, they're going to have a big announcement, sort of a status of the game, so to speak, update you on their roadmap for 2018. And one of the big announcements is going to be a new map. There's been no rumors or speculation of where this map could be or what type of setting, but supposedly it's already in development, obviously, because it's going to be out by the end of June on PC. No mention if this is going to be coming to Xbox anytime soon, because I still believe the Xbox only has that one map. I don't think they've gotten Miramar yet.
Oh, wow.
So since you play a little bit more PUBG than me and Matt, Jeremy, if there was a third climate or location, would you have any sort of preference? Futuristic, real old school, anything that sort of comes to mind?
My initial thought was like a jungle, something in the jungle with a lot more trees, a lot more cover and stuff like that. Because I really think they need something to take away the sniping game a little bit. They added the fog there for a while, but I feel like that fog almost never pops up. And I know that was supposed to help alleviate on that long game and make it a little bit more of a better playing field for those of us who don't have the sniper skills. Maybe a completely suburban one, so like kind of the maps that you see in the Division, where it's all just in the city there. Obviously, you'd have to board up a lot of the buildings and stuff, but those would be two off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm. Now, first of all, do you consider the maps now large or small or medium?
I think they're fairly large. I mean, there's some times where if you land in a spot on a map, if depending on where that circle ends, you might not get there unless you get a vehicle.
No, I don't want to go crazy and say let's have a third map that's like Nuketown, right? I don't want to go to that extreme. But what if they had a smaller map for people that really like, quicker matches, maybe less tactical, but just more get in, get out. Something smaller. So let's just say half the size of the map now, or 75% reduced. I think that'd be something you'd be into? A shorter end game, sort of?
I think we've got a map for those people, and that map is called the school.
Yeah. So just have a whole campus, you're saying?
No, yeah, I mean, just joking. I think that people who want that type of game, they land at the school, or was it Pochinki? I think the people who want that are getting that already. Now, obviously, the entire match isn't held up there, but a big portion of the map or a big portion of the game is there if you're one of those people. And then those are both pretty centrally located. So if you're on either one of those, there's a good chance you're in and you survive that, you're still in the middle of the map for the rest of the game. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it could, but then you have to look at, okay, well, do we decrease it from 100 to 50 if we're reducing the size of it as well? So I don't know that I don't get paid big bucks for that, but
yeah, I'm sure they're going to keep it the same size because they're going to want this. I don't believe the new map that's out there now is in any sort of esports. I don't think it's been deemed appropriate for esports like the first map. So I bet you this third map that's coming out is probably closer to the first one, as they've had a lukewarm response on the newest one, and it's not quite been deemed ready for esports play. Moving on here, Burnout Paradise. For you guys that are into racing or sort of open world racing, this is a game, of course, that was on the 360, and I think they had something that might have been on the Xbox One already, maybe backwards compatible or something like that. But they're coming out with Burnout Paradise Remastered. Okay, so this is going to include all 8 versions of the DLC. All 8 DLC packs, which is going to mark the first time that any of this content has come to the PC. So the base game was on PC, but this is the first time any of the DLC is hitting the PC, and this is going to be priced, I think, right around the $29, $30 mark. So if you're into that, any of you guys ever play Burnout Paradise?
The last one I played was the Burnout the crash one where you had to crash into cars and stuff like that. That one was awesome.
Yeah, that's what people are saying, that they're disappointed that this still lacks a good crash mode. So this is actually coming out March 16th, $39.99. And you're going to be able to see this 4K and playback at 60 frames per second if you own a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One X. And for PC gamers, you'll be able to download this via Origin, and if you have their early access program, you'll get a 10-hour trial version.
I've played this a lot myself, and actually my son can identify Paradise City by Guns N' Roses because of this game. So this is the game he learned to drive video game cars on. So I'm looking forward. Now I have it on PS3, and that's what he's playing it on and everything like that. So I don't know how much mileage we'd get out of it since he's played the other one a lot. But this actually does have a crash mode, so I'm not sure. It's kind of hidden, but if you at any time.
Yeah, I guess what they're saying is like RNG though. It's like it's random, right? So you go down a street and they might tell you here's a crash mode like event.
No, it's at any time you're driving, you hold L1 and R1, or I guess whatever the corresponding buttons are, and then you'll just automatically just flip up in the air, and there'll be traffic coming at you, and you kind of have to bounce off the different cars, and then buses will give you multipliers and stuff like that. So it's actually kind of, I liked it, especially when you're like 3 minutes into it, and your car is just a flaming husk of a frame, and it's doesn't even resemble a car anymore, but you're still flapping it down the street and everything.
Right.
There's your show title.
I knew when I was playing it, it didn't feel as good to me, like Matt said about like the crash one. That's the one I really sort of enjoyed. This one felt like a lot of stuff was going on, right? It was like it was like GTA without the people. Would that be fair to say? Without the violence, but you still was open world, massive, a lot of things to do.
Yeah, and I think that there's so much to do in it that you could kind of get lost in it, because there's the planned races where you pull up to an intersection and then you do that type of race. There is the little mini game of trying to run in and find all the billboards, and there'll be sometimes where you see a billboard, but you have to figure out how to get to it and stuff like that. And then the multiplayer, all the different events you could have in that too. So there's a lot to it, especially for $40.
Yeah. And I want to correct myself. This has never been out on the new system. So it was on the 360 originally, and then the PC Ultimate Box, I think is what they had. So, for people that have been jonesing for some good racing, Burnout Paradise Remastered out in March. Moving on, gentlemen, we all own Star Wars Battlefront 2. They just had an update this week. Jetpack Cargo is a new mode. It's going to be a temporary mode. We've talked about this before on the podcast, but wanted to bring it to your attention again. Maybe we want to play it some night. Again, update 1.2. This is a fast-paced mode where it puts 2 teams of 8 against each other, and every player has a jetpack and a rocket launcher. What could go wrong?
Might get sick.
Right, exactly. So, they've also done a bunch of other things, added a bunch of skins in and stuff like that. New skins for Han Solo, Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker. So maybe we'll dive in some night and try it out and let you know how it is. But maybe if Dave Holy Goalie is listening, maybe he'll let us know, because he usually jumps in to get his dailies. Or maybe he's stopped already doing that. I don't know. And last bit of news here, discuss the Games with Gold for March. I don't believe PlayStation has announced their games yet. They usually wait to the last minute. But Xbox has announced their games. And let's see here. One game Jeremy's been playing, we've talked about before, Super Hot.
Super Hot.
All right, Super Hot's going to be available on the Xbox One from March 16th through April 15th. And then you're going to have Far Cry Blood Dragon, March 1st to the 31st. Is that what that is? March? Is that? It's not Far Cry Blood Dragon. What is that? It just says Trials. Blood Dragon.
Oh no, it's a weird Trials game with
right.
the
I just
theme
saw
of
Blood
the Blood
Dragon. I couldn't make
yeah.
out the word. Yeah. So Trials Blood Dragon. That's that like racing thing. Trials HD.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's March. That's the whole month of March, and then on the 360, everybody's favorite movie, Brave. That game is available March 1st to the 15th, and then we have Quantum Crowd Run, March 16th to the 31st. I never heard of that one at all. So Superhot is probably the leader in the pack here. A lot of people have been talking about it. Maybe want to try it out. You've played it in VR, Jeremy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. So if you're sort of on the fence about it, wait a few more days and you'll be able to, well, a couple of weeks because that's March 16th. So hang tight. If you're curious, you'll be able to play it free on the Xbox. It's all the news I could scrounge up this week, gentlemen, unless we wanted to talk more about how some leaders are saying that the video games are corrupting our minds and, we need to put a stop to them. I didn't want to rehash that too much.
That seems to be the only thing that can unite people away from console wars. So if there's anything good coming from it, it's all the gamers telling these politicians they're shitheads for making that connection.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's jump into what we've been playing. Let's kick it off. First of all, we jumped in and played Rainbow Six last night. Rainbow Six Siege.
Yes.
Which is we played that on the PS4. And we streamed that on the Bad Fodder Figures Twitch account and also our personal accounts. Lots of fun. It was interesting. It was like moth to the flame, right? So we fired that up. People knew that we were going to be playing Rainbow Six, and all our buddies from Discord, the Veterans Gamers crew, all came in to look at us. It was you felt like you were in like a they look at you like a test experiment. You know what I mean? Like all these people were looking at you behind a glass window. As we were playing. Matt, what was your impressions of the game?
It's okay. It's fun. I had a lot of fun when we get everybody into that the custom matches or whatever, and we just kind of going back and forth trying to attack and defend, and I thought that was very fun. Just goofing around in the game was fun, but I don't see myself playing it that much.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. It just seems a lot going on, and a lot of people want to play it seriously. It seems like, and I'm just not there yet with it.
Right.
So
Matt only takes one thing serious, people. One thing.
One
Sleep.
thing is right.
Sleep.
Yes.
It's the only thing he takes very serious.
I got platinum trophy in that. But I mean, it was fun. I did enjoy playing with you two and with the people on Discord, Mafia and Mark and Jay and all them guys. It was enjoyable going through there, and they did a good job of telling us what to do and teaching us different things and stuff like that. And especially how to lean like a pro. I'm not sure what was with the lean, but they were telling us all to lean.
They were very hot to trot on the lean.
It was the lean, so leaning was awesome, and I liked my motorcycle windshield on my gun. I thought that was pretty cool.
Now, you sort of had a sort of love affair with the suicide bombers. You just were a magnet.
Oh my god! They would come running to me with open arms. So I thought they was wanting to give me a hug, and no, they was la 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 la, boom, dead.
They had to get their 47 virgins. You were 48.
Oh.
And every time Matt would just run in, totally forgetting, like sort of like in Fortnite, you run into these buildings and they got the traps. Every time Matt, first guy in. Oh no, not again.
Well, think of, I sacrificed myself for all you guys to be able to not have to deal with the suicide bombers. So I took care of that. I got those out of the way, and let the rest of the squad contribute and concentrate on the rest of the map and the mission. So that was my mission, was to take care of the suicide bombers, because that's pretty much all I could do.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed the beginning when the three of us were just trying to figure it out and play along. Mm-hmm. We just couldn't. We all three of us couldn't stay healthy long enough. That was the main problem, because I felt like it was a little. It was tedious when I was just creeping around trying to find the rest of them. I was getting a little long in the tooth. But I think that was that was like the sweet spot as far as the entertainment value, like people tuning in and watching us. So maybe we have to dabble some more into that type of stuff. But certainly, yes, playing the custom matches with, the Mafias, who were very, very helpful. And then, Mark joined in. Mark's relatively new to the game, too. And everybody else, Drips and I. It was a lot of fun. Clearly those guys, like you said, take it very seriously. And they said they weren't trying to go too hardcore on us, but I guess one person on their team who didn't have a mic, I think he was under the name of Mindy, he was taking it hardcore. He was shooting through ceilings and laying down under cars and sniping us.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. I was happy that I could go prone in that and look at my feet while I was going prone.
They had some weird animations with the feet.
Yeah, especially the crab walk. That was hilarious.
I will say that the guns, the guns feel very good. You know what I mean? They don't feel like loose and all over the place. There's some kick behind those. So it was very satisfying. Some games aren't satisfying when you shoot the gun and get a kill. This had a very satisfying feel or effect to it. My biggest problem was not knowing enough about the map. So clearly I understand the concept: see person, kill person, move on. Right? That's kind of basic, but where I was sort of, falling behind was, all right, we're the defenders. We're building all these, barricades, and we're putting all these, like, extra, layers on the wall so people can't break in. But now where are they going to break in from? Where are the other spots that we don't know where they're coming from? So I thought I was in, like, a good spot in the corner. I was protected on both sides by the extra walls, and then they shot me like through like my balls, right? They shot me to the they were below me and shot through the ceiling or something like that, or there was another place that wasn't accounted for. So those were the type of hurdles I felt like I needed to get over. Jeremy, did you feel underwhelmed, overwhelmed, or what you expected?
I think I'm more along the same lines as you, where I enjoyed the stuff where it was PvE. So not even just when it was the three of us, but when Mafia and I and Hale came in and were kind of showing us the ropes. That was when I had the most fun, and then it quickly turned downhill. We went to the versus stuff, which, I mean, nobody who's listened to me for any amount of time is going to be surprised by that. But it's not. I mean, it's not because of anyone there, because those guys were all great. Like you said, they were trying to reel it in a little bit. And make sure everyone there knew that we were just trying to learn and everything like that. But it just seemed like, because I know there was one part where he was like, okay, barricade this door, barricade this wall, and here's where they're going to come in. And sure enough, like 20 seconds later, that wall explodes and everyone starts pouring in. And it's like, to me, it almost felt like at that point when you got that much time into it, and all those little nuances and stuff, to me that seems boring. It's kind of like when Hearthstone, when a new expansion comes out several months later, I just basically give up on it, because there ends up being, well, do you play these three decks, and this deck counters this one, and it's like it's a rote thing, and then it's just it comes down to a matter of almost chance or whatever. So to me, that's what the multiplayer seemed like. So I didn't really care for that, but the single player stuff, I really enjoy, or not single player, the co-op stuff. So I'm looking forward to that zombie mode or whatever that's coming out here in a couple of weeks. And then also the only thing about that though is that the terrorist hunt that we did, you're kind of limited to half of the characters, because you can use the attackers for that. So I wish there was a way to use the defenders on that mode. So I really think they could benefit from some more PvE content on there. But otherwise, it was a good time. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think we needed to spend some more time on that PvE. I think that'd be a good stream thing, because let's face it, we are not the best marksmen. And
I do want to.
We're not the most tactical group.
Right. While we're on that topic, we are bad fodder figures. If you're new to us or just joining us, I want to let you know that the reason why we picked that name is because we are bad. Not Michael Jackson bad, but the bad kind of bad. So we do appreciate any help and tips in the chat or whatever in game. But please keep in mind that two-thirds of us had owned this game for 6 hours and had never actually played before. So kind of keep that in mind when you're offering advice and suggestions. And also just even if we'd had it for 6 years, there's a good chance we're still going to suck at it PUBG. So yeah, just kind of temper your expectations when you're watching us play anything.
You know those back of the box quotes.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to read. Just want to read this quote out here from Mafia Thug, addressed to me. Honestly, sir, you impressed the heck out of me. You can be a beast at this game. So I just, maybe I am not bad fodder figures material. I don't know.
Well, I just want to bring up, out of the three of us, I think I'm by far probably the worst player.
No.
But that one round, I wiped out the whole squad myself. I don't know what happened.
Shoot straight.
But maybe it's because there was a tornado and shit coming, but I just totally wiped the whole squad out myself, and I had to go.
Oh, you missed that, man. You missed it. We had a live, for anybody that was watching the stream or was in the game, we had a live look-in at Matt's house during the tornado. There was a lot of Auntie M's going on. Auntie M, Auntie M.
Yeah. 10 men walking around. I don't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah. It was good. It was a great night. I enjoyed.
It was fun.
Enjoyed it. They seemed to enjoy that we were playing with them, and vice versa. And we shall do it again.
Oh, definitely do it again.
Some podcasts charge you money for that sort of thing. Not us. It's free. You show up.
We should pay you to play.
We should pay. Yeah, we should pay them.
Yeah.
All right, Jeremy. It seems like your list is a little longer than the rest of ours. So what else have you been up to?
Thank you. Well, I told you a few episodes back I was trying to hit all the free games that came out on the Oculus Store this weekend. So, real quick, the first one I did, which was the weekend of that I didn't make it, was Eve Valkyrie Warzone. I believe that might be on the PSVR as well. But basically, gentlemen, you know the spaceship part of Battlefront 2?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that in 3D VR, and it's actually pretty awesome. Yeah, you might be. There was actually one part where it was a nice change to actually be able to sit down and play a game, and so I was doing that. But then there was one time I started to roll and kind of turn at the same time, and I was like, "Oh, I get that feeling like when you go over a hill too fast in a car," and it was. It was a little disturbing, but I got over it pretty quickly. The gameplay was rough at first, and there's several ships you can choose from. Once I found one that allowed you to lock on and shoot missiles at other ones I did fine. But it has loot boxes in it, so beware, because as you play, you get loot boxes that give you cosmetic things. So it's probably evil or something. I don't know. But other than that, it was a decent game. If you like space shooter flying games, then I definitely say give it a shot. Looked great. Played great. It was a lot of fun.
Did it taste great?
It had a good mouthfeel. It did. I put just around the edge. So next one is called Wands. This is another VR game. That was the free one for this weekend. That's a hot bowl of crap. But I put a video up on youtube.com/badfodderfigures if you want to take a look. I say that not because the game itself is bad. Like the premise is a good premise. The visuals are actually probably one of the better looking. It's probably one of the better looking games I've seen in VR so far. The premise is you are a wizard. You have a wand, so you can pretend like you're Harry Potter, and you end up in this arena against another wizard, and you kind of teleport around and shoot magics at each other. And you can customize your wand with different spells, so you can have just a basic fireball, or maybe you have like a electric ball that kind of bounces around and stuff like that. So you can kind of pick and choose. My main issue with it, though, is that the controls were just awful, and they can't be changed, and they were so bad to the point where it actually affects your gameplay. Just an example, the button you use to teleport around, how you move around in the map, is the same button you use to shoot your magic. Meanwhile, you have two buttons on your other controller that also is assigned to moving that doesn't do anything. So it's really detrimental to the gameplay. I think the matchmaking is really bad as well. I was obviously a level 0 or level 1 or whatever, and I was up against a level 33 and a level 47 a couple times I played. So I'm not really sure what the deal was with that. But like I said, visually it's great. I think they could really make something good there. I think, but just the way that it is now, it's not worth free. But
and that was called Wands.
Wands, yes, and apparently YouTube, when it did the closed captioning, it thought I said wands, like Hey Juan down by the pier or something, selling oranges on the highway or something. But anyway, Juan, WANDS, Wands. Then as far as non-VR gaming news, I finally finished Horizon Zero Dawn, so there's another notch in the old backlog. I really, really enjoyed it. The story I thought was great, which is probably nothing new to anyone who's heard anyone else play it. My only complaint is that they didn't actually tell you what Zero Dawn was earlier in the game, because I think that really makes you look at that world in a totally different way. Once you realize why the world is what it is. And to me, I think that was more interesting than having the mystery and the mystique about it, which I'm not saying get rid of that completely, but I shouldn't have to have been like 30 or 40 hours into the game before I got to that part. So, really good. I'm probably going to go back at some point and go and try and tackle that DLC that I got for it. But for right now, what I've moved on to is something else I started a while back, and so I just jumped right back into it last night, is I think it's Rise of Tomb Raider. Is that the most recent one?
I believe so. Yes.
I think that's the title. So yeah, I'm getting into that. Pretty good so far. One thing that it's very reminiscent of like the Uncharted games, with one exception, is the Uncharted Nathan Drake is very sticky. So like when you're climbing all those mountain walls and everything else, it's very hard to kind of go off track and miss a jump. Exactly, yeah. Lara Croft, she'll just jump any old place she wants at any old time. So there's been several times where I died through one of those little climbing sequences just because I thought there was a ledge I could grab, or I thought she could reach it, or maybe I thought I was supposed to go right, but really they wanted you to go up or something like that. So adjusting to that has been a little different. But other than that, it's a great game. I think if you like the first one, it's more of that, maybe a little better. So hopefully I'll be able to get that finished here in a couple of weeks and move on to something else.
Cool. Let me ask you real quick about Horizon Zero Dawn. I enjoyed the story as well, but like I've mentioned before, I didn't think the very ending.
No, because stupid human, quit being stupid. Yeah.
That was the only thing. That was the only sour note I think that game hit for me.
Yeah.
And I don't think the DLC touches upon that at all.
Probably not.
Right.
But we'll see. I don't know.
Cool. Anything else? Is that it?
That is all.
All right. Matt, how about yourself?
Besides the R6, been doing a whole lot of Fortnite PvE mode
What is that?
on
I
PC.
haven't heard of that.
It is player versus the environment, Mike, is what that is. And on the PC, you can do the keyboard and mouse. It's fun. I've been getting into it now that I've gotten further along into the PvE mode, the storyline, I guess you could say. There's daily quests to do. There's challenges to do. There's a lot of grinding, though, as I'm sure you know also, in this game to gain resources and building your traps and getting more material, building more traps, getting more material, building defenses against stuff and that. And, it can be challenging at times, especially the defend mode, part of the game where you have certain quests you have to do where you have to defend against a certain item against zombies, or these things are called husk in this game. And you put traps around what you're trying to protect. Walls, you can build ceilings and floors and put traps on those, have defenders with it, you can play with other people and that. So there's a lot going on. A lot of people play the Battle Royale mode of that game, but the whole PvE is a whole other part of that game also. It's a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, I've been trying to play the PvE because I don't want to spend real money on skins for Battle Royale. Mm-hmm. So you can play the PvE and grind and get V-Bucks. But what I'm finding myself is actually really enjoying the PvE, and I haven't really touched Battle Royale in probably about a week or so. I've played maybe a few matches here and there, but not as much as I was playing before. There's something, I think I said tonight, I don't really enjoy work in my real life, but in video games, and this one in particular, I don't mind going in and smashing everything up and getting the resources and things like that, rescuing survivors. I'm a little over the fetch quest on these friggin' envelopes that go around that you got to find.
Yeah,
but they do give you nice rewards at the end. One thing about this game, it is very, very deep on the back end. There's so many different currencies in the PvE. There's the V-Bucks, there's the gold, there's some other copper coins that I don't even know what those do yet. And the interesting way they go about, like, you find all these people, there's survivors, there's defenders, and you think you're going to be able to play these people, but it's just an elegant way of them to take a picture of a person that you could maybe, this person looks cool, right? And that's a way for you to level up your defenses. Rather than having an XP slider that you keep earning points and you see this thing going up, you acquire these, again, say they look like baseball cards or stamps or something like that, and they got the person's, mugshot on it, and you're plugging it into certain things in your home base, and their skills and attributes make your home base stronger, make you stronger, make your squad stronger. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the back end to sort of tweak your character, tweak your squad, your home base. It's at this point I got to be, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 hours in, maybe a little longer than that. And I'm still, trying to figure things out. And I think our buddies overseas, Bounty and Chewy, they're hundreds of hours in, and I think they're still figuring the stuff out too. And now they have a hoverboard that you can unlock. And instead of just running around the map, you can go on your hoverboard. And what our friends have done at your home base, there's this home base that you create into these storm shields that come along and sort of build up your base. You can build traps and stuff to kill off the husk. They sort of have foregone that a little bit and created this massive racetrack. So they've got their hoverboard now, and they got loops and jumps and dual tracks and everything like that. It is very, very intricate. They're working it up to take a video or something like that and put it on YouTube. So that is pretty cool. If you get a chance, if I get a chance to see that, I'll share with everybody, or you can go to their Twitch page and watch them build it at Chewyzilla, twitch.tv/Chewyzilla and twitch.tv/BountyTM. They spend a lot of time building that, so for people that like racing, racetracks, or what is the amusement park thing that some people like to do, the roller coaster thing?
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Right. So anybody who's into those types of things, I haven't watched those types of games, but this is what I would envision you would do, that you would create these sort of racetracks and stuff. So Minecraft for adults, maybe that's what I'm trying to get after.
Right? That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, very, very intricate stuff. So Matt and I have been playing a lot of that, so I think it's worthwhile. Definitely have gotten my money's worth out of that. Anything else?
The PvE, I'm sorry, the PvE mode's half price right now. It's 50% off right now, so go get it fast.
And the other important thing I don't think people know is that your progress does carry over. So if you're playing a little bit on the PC, you got some friends that are only on PS4, you can jump over there and all your progress carries over. It's in the cloud.
Yep.
So you don't have to worry about downloading anything or anything like that. Just got to link your Epic account.
Yep, to either your Xbox or PS4.
Yep. And I think that's all I've been playing as well, Matt. Maybe some Call of Duty here and there, but pretty much this week it's been a little bit Fortnite PvE and Rainbow Six. It's been a good week. Tried a new game. I think both of those are kind of new experiences for us. So.
Yeah, good stuff.
Very good. All right, everybody grab their drink. Matt, how is the sour going? Have you...
It's dry. It's a dry taste. It's a dry taste. It is. Ugh. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a big gulp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying
anything
to
you put in your mouth shouldn't be dry. It should be wet.
Sometimes you got to help make it wet with your mouth.
Wow. All right, you keep drinking that. I'm going to play the voicemail thing. Keep chugging. When I get back, I expect you to say it's all gone. All right, here we go.
Oh, Jesus.
Drink.
Chug.
May I help you? Operator?
Are you the operator?
I'm long distance, sir. Overseas, may I help you? Directory assistance, may I help you, please?
Hello again. Hello again.
How'd you make out, Matt?
I didn't get that far. I don't want to throw up.
All right, before Matt dies on us and throws up, give us the phone number, Matt.
Yeah, it is 508-659-BFFS, 508-659-2337.
All right.
See what I did there?
You threw me off completely, but I figured out what you were doing. So Eric couldn't be here this week, but he did leave a voicemail, so why don't we kick things off with our fourth member, Glove Box.
What's up, guys? What's up, Bad Fodder Figures listeners? This is your boy, Glove Box. Listen, I won't be able to make it tonight. Working never stops for me. Got to make the money. But look, I'm calling in because I'm very excited about the contest. I'm sure, I don't know if Cap, Mike, and the guys have already talked about it, and I'm sure they will if they haven't. But you guys getting on this contest is going to be great. I wish I can get on the contest, but anyway, listen. I haven't played much this week. I played Overwatch, of course. All right. I picked up Shadow Colossus and R6. I got the R6, everybody. Everybody out there, I got the R6. But this is one game I want you guys to check out. It's called Rat Rogers. I put it on the Discord, so check it out. It costs like $12. It's got a PS4 and it's on Xbox. Pick it up. If you like old school 90s style platformers, this game is for you. It's beautiful, it's awesome, and I have a good time playing it when I can play when I'm not working. Okay, so I want to make this real quick and short before they piss me off. But I'll be back next week, absolutely. And that's pretty much it. So I'll talk to you guys next week, and game on, all right? Later.
All right, very good. What was the name of that game again?
Oh, hell.
Oh, Rad Rogers. I see it right now on Discord. Rad Rogers. Check that out. I'll have to check that out. Eric recommends it. I'll have to pick it up. Rad Rogers. All right.
D. Rogers.
This is first. We got a couple new callers this week. We're branching out.
Hey. Wow.
Let's hear from a new person here.
Hey, Bad Fodder Figures. Jeez. I'm already screwing up. This is Retro Rental over on Twitter. I've just been listening to you guys from like episode 5 on. Loving it. You guys are kicking ass. Oh, wow. I wanted to answer Vaughn's question for my plus, and I'm thinking it's not so much characters plus, but a combination of games. I'm thinking Rocket League and Fallout. I don't know. I just think it would be like pretty fun to not only have the ball to worry about, but slathering insane mutants trying to blow you to pieces. Might even make that game more exciting, or it might be horrible, but that was just my thought. I also had a question for you guys. With the state of new releases lately, it kind of got me thinking. What game that you'd been really excited for in the past wound up being a big disappointment once you got your hands on it? Just to be fair, mine was absolutely Ultima 9 for PC. I was a big Ultima fan, and it was exciting to know that you're going to be finishing off this saga of 9 games. And it was just a giant pile of crap. And I've never quite forgiven EA for destroying that one. But, yeah, that would be my biggest disappointment. I'd be interested to hear you guys. You're doing a great show. Really loving it. And thanks. Catch you guys later.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Great. A new caller. Always makes us excited.
Nice, yeah. Jeremy, it sounds like.
Jeremy, a little upset.
I'm doing some research. Hold on,
right.
I got to make sure it's because if it's the Ultima I'm thinking of, you get to sleep with a dirty pirate hooker. So I'm not.
Get back to us.
Yeah.
I would think for me, and I don't want to come down and be that guy, but I have to say the last Halo and the last Gears of War were disappointing for me. Right? From a technical aspect, they were fine, but they just felt like there was nothing. I'm not saying more of the same is bad, but it just didn't feel like they really pushed the envelope enough for me. So those were disappointing, and I think we'd all have to agree that Star Wars Battlefront 2, right?
I would like to throw Killzone Shadowfall out there. I was so looking forward to that game after playing Killzone 3 for all those years. When Shadowfall came out on the PS4, how disappointing that was to play.
don't know if I finished that. I don't think I got too far in that.
I didn't get very far in that at all.
I remember being like an outside scene, and there was some sort of like, almost like pyramid, like we build in Fortnite. Like outside, and there was like guys sniping me from all different places.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's when I said fuck it and threw that game. I was like, I'm done with this. This is not fun at all.
Nice. Yeah. Jeremy, how's the research going?
Research is complete. Yeah, it's the same game. I'll answer his question first. And this probably isn't a surprise to anyone who listened to Dad's Getting Grounded, was Destiny was by far, because after I played that alpha and that beta, I'm like, yes, this is the game that I want. And then it finally comes out, and it's like, oh, well, that's not really what the game is. The game doesn't start till later, until after all that stuff, and then how the loot worked out, and then they started taking stuff away with each expansion and stuff like that. So I think that's probably the furthest I fell from pre-release hyped all the way down to it. It makes me roll my eyes so hard now just when I hear the name of it. So that's mine. But yeah, Ultima 9. Mike, I bought that the collector's edition. It had a cloth map.
That was
I had a little trading card. So I think I know what he's saying, though, because it was different than the previous 8. It was also one of the. I mean, we're talking. This would have had to been early 2000s, I think, maybe late 90s as this came out. And it was a 3D, like, move around in the world type game, which we weren't really good at those yet. So I guess as someone who's a really big Ultima fan or something like that, I can see how you'd be disappointed. But that was one of my first forays into an RPG with a real environment you could run. I mean, that was back in the day where you had to have a video card for your video card. You had to have a separate 3D card for your graphics and stuff. So I don't know, maybe that would just hit me at the right time, but I really did like that. I'm sure it's hot garbage if you try to go back and play it today, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Can I just say one thing?
Mm-hmm.
This guy's been holding on to this hostility since fucking November 24th, 1999.
Yeah.
Gee, I don't even know of the Ultima series. This thing is so old. I'm like, what the fuck are these people talking about?
Well, I mean, if you look at a video of this and then go back and look at like Ultima 1 through 3, they're totally different games. So I think if he was expecting more of the earlier games, I can totally see that. But I think this was branching off into a whole new game type, but just keeping the name. So as a standalone game, I think it's fine. But if that's what he was wanting was more Ultima, then I can see it.
I should have a mulligan there. I should take that back, because he did say his name was what, Retro? So.
Oh, yeah.
So I should have thought my statement a little clearer, because he is a retro guy, and some people would say 1999 was retro. So.
Yeah. Well, and no joke, like the first time I got to sleep with that pirate hooker, I was like, "Oh my god, this isn't a game! I'm sleeping with a pirate hooker. This is amazing!" So, I mean, they didn't have that stuff back then. You didn't. It was there were branching quests and stuff like that. It didn't exist before. So.
1999, I was definitely on my gaming hiatus. I was still neck deep in music and stuff like that, and was not on my radar. A few years later, I think about a year and a half later, is when I got back into gaming. So I missed out on the pirate sex and Ultima 9.
So. You can always go get a costume and do. Yeah. Again, crickets. Let me go back to my beer.
Right. Drink your beer, Matt.
All right.
Matt.
All right, I think we got someone else new this week.
Hey guys, this is Rob, aka Super Lobster 06. I know Mike knows me. Not sure about the other guys, but just want to call and say that I've been listening to the show lately. I was recently transferred from one restaurant to another, which happens quite a bit in the company I work for as a manager, and it added some commuting time to my daily drive, so I was actually able to start listening to podcasts again. But I've been meaning to jump on sooner than that, but I also have 2 children under the age of 2 now, and just life is crazy. but I just want to call and say I'm listening. I've been meaning to call in sooner than I have, and about to walk into the hellhole that is work right now. I figured if I didn't call right now, I wouldn't do it at all because I would just forget, and I'm very sleep deprived. But with that, my question is with the small children and the hectic work schedule, my gaming time is almost non-existent. So it's kind of forced me to pick and choose what I play. And in general, what do you guys? I mean, if you guys were kind of forced to only play maybe a couple hours a week, or maybe say 3-4 hours a week, like what would you focus that time on? Chipping away at some kind of big open world game, playing smaller indie titles, or maybe just multiplayer matches in Fortnite or Call of Duty. All right, guys, keep up the good work. I'll try to make this a regular thing. Talk to you later. Bye.
All right, very good. I appreciate that, Rob. I certainly want to hear from you guys, but I would say first and foremost, if you feel your work is stressful, the kids are sleep deprived, my answer for you would be play whatever the hell is going to make you happy for those 3 to 4 hours. So if one week it's going to be story-based game, play that. If it's you want to still keep connecting with your friends, if work's keeping you away from doing that, then maybe that's what you should be doing. But all aspects of your life should not be stressful and time-consuming. So do play whatever you like those 3 to 4 hours. It's going to turn things around. But you guys are dads as well. Maybe you have a different perspective, or you can sort of tell them what you guys did when you were first-time dads with young kids.
Well, I mean, when they were young, it didn't really matter because they didn't know what the fuck was going on. So I played whatever the hell I wanted to still. But it was when they got in those formidable years, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and on up, is when I had to kind of took it easy on what I was playing, kind of watch what was going on around me with stuff like that. So, but normally I saved my gaming for at night when they were in bed or taking naps and stuff like that. I would go and play whatever and do that. And when they got older and stuff, like now, they come down, they watch me play Fortnite or baseball or even Call of Duty. Grand Theft Auto 5 still a little off limits for the most part, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I have no problem with them kind of playing the games and stuff. And kind of like what you said, Mike, the game is supposed to be an escape. So make sure it's very much enjoyable for you to when you're gaming.
Yeah, so I can't imagine if you have only 3 to 4 hours a week. If you wanted, to tackle, say, The Witcher, right? So you got 3 to 4 hours knocked out one week, then you come back again. You got to relearn the controls. You got to remember where you left off. And if you're putting in 3 to 4 hours a week on a game like that, you might not finish that thing. Matt still hasn't finished it, right?
Yeah, no, hell no. I got to jump back on that too. There's just so much out there right now. There's so much coming out.
Now, Jeremy, I know when my kids were young, like he's saying under 2, my kids were great sleepers. So I could actually get a lot of gaming in when they were that young because, they'd crash out at like 7:38 and they wouldn't wake up until 8 the next day, So you got like 12 hours of sleep. Was it similar for you, or were your kids not great sleepers and you had to sort of stop and start a lot, or what?
Oh, no, we were extremely lucky in that department. Both of our kids were sleeping through the night by the time they were like 6 months old, I think, was the latest. So we dodged a couple bullets on that one. And I guess that, maybe his situation is different. Maybe the kids are still getting up. I know a friend of my wife's one of their kids had a stomach disorder or something where they could not sleep more than 4 hours without waking up because something was going on with their insides or something like that. Right. So I feel bad for them. But I mean, like Matt said, just get it done in the evening when they're in bed. When they get older, I'm not going to tell anyone how to parent, but if you don't want your kids to repeat things that they hear, then don't play those types of games in front of them. And, stuff like that. I know some parents who do, and they don't care, and that's how they choose to do it. So I'm not going to judge too much. Also, maybe look into some mobile stuff. I know that was one thing that allowed me to get in a lot of, second time I'm mentioning the show, but Hearthstone. Part of the reason why I played that as much as I did was I could play it on my phone or my tablet. Even when the kids are watching their stupid shows and there's nothing else that you can do because you still have to keep an eye on them, but you can't really watch a TV show or something that you want. It's right there on your phone, so you can still kind of be present for them, but then also not just sit there and zone out watching Dora find Boots' lost mittens for the 12th time or something like that. I don't know. But there's some pretty solid mobile stuff out there right now. There's some trash, but there's some good stuff too.
And I'm not 100% certain, but Rob might have a Switch. A lot of good stuff coming out on the Switch.
Yeah.
If you got work breaks, if you're working, I know a lot of you restaurant guys don't just work an 8-hour shift. You work 12 to 14, 16-hour days. I'm sure you got some downtime in there. Go to your car, fire up the Switch. Springtime's coming, roll the windows down, enjoy the fresh air, and, play something on the Switch for a little bit to decompress.
Yep.
All right, let's move on. We got some more here. This guy chimed in a little while ago and asked us about getting back into podcasting. So let's hear from Maximus again.
Maximus.
Hey, what's up, Bad Fodder Figures? It's Maximus Prime. Hey, first up, thanks for putting my thing up on there on the show and answering the question. You guys are right. It's one of those things. Wife opened up her dental practice a year ago. Before then, it was still an issue, and I actually dusted off the mic and broke out the computer and started working on some things. I'm going to do a podcast, and like you guys said, man, she's going to have to just suck it up now. It's my time to shine. But anyway, I did want to say one real quick thing, though. You asked about the games and stuff. Yes, I know somebody that quasi works within the industry and gets access to game codes.
See?
And I'm like his in-between seller of those codes because he can't.
A mule.
So anyway, he gives them to me for free, and I make a donation to him. So anyway, that's why those are out there. And so keep an eye on my Twitter. It's Maximus Prime, spelled with a Prime is spelled with a Y, and Maximus is spelled with a M-A-C-K instead of an X. My last name is Mac, so that's why that's that. But guys, again, appreciate the show. It's good listening. And maybe you got time, I'll jump on there one of these years and be a guest. And actually, maybe one of you guys may be a guest on my upcoming show whenever I actually settle on that and get that ready to go. So anyway, again, one love. Y'all keep it up, keep it real, keep it bad, and catch y'all later. Peace.
All right, Maximus, thanks for calling back. Sure. We can, talk offline, as they say, and work something out. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely be interested in that. Let's see who else we got here. I think we only got two more people here. Let's kick it off with our boy Vaughn.
What's up, fellas? It's your boy Vaughn. Hey, checking in again this week. Right off the bat, real quick, anybody that's still on the fence for PSVR, they are selling them for $199. Sony decided that they had a good sale during the holidays, so they're dropping the PSVRs down to $199. I believe it'll still be going on by the time you guys hear this to March the 3rd, I believe. So check that out. My wife is interested in getting one for her gaming setup. So by the time you guys hear this, we'll probably have a second headset in the house for her. I just finished watching this documentary about this guy who challenged himself to buy every North American sold NES cartridge in 30 days. I think that's like 678 of them, I believe. In 30 days, not using the internet, and he had to pay cash. So it was a pretty good documentary. So it got me to thinking, what gaming collections do you have? Like games, systems, accessories, anything that you collect? For me, I got a couple smaller ones. I have all the COD console games, Rockstar, every, Rockstar game, pretty much for the Grand Theft Auto. But my main one, my baby, my collection that I get, crazy about is I have every Mortal Kombat game ever made, even the little side games they made. But I have posters, shirts, all the comics. I have some signed comics, some signed posters from actors from the movies. But my prize collection is I have probably about 50 custom scorpion figures that people have made for me. And I have every figure, every toy that's ever come out from Mortal Kombat. So that's kind of like my baby there. I love Mortal Kombat. Let me hear what you got. Talk to you later. It's your boy Vaughn. I'm out. Peace.
All right, thanks, Vaughn. And first thing I would say to you, do you have any cloth, Vaughn? If you don't really have a collector's set, do you have some fine cloth?
Hey, absolutely. Yeah.
All the fatalities on a piece of cloth. Yeah,
right. My son's big into Mortal Kombat too. I'm gonna have next time we record, gentlemen. I am gonna officially be a dad of a teenager.
Oh,
so my son is turning 13 this week on Saturday. He's having a sleepover here, and on his cake that he's getting a Mortal Kombat cake. So
nice.
Just throw that out there. So what was he asking us about collections? What we got? Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody have something that they're really passionate about that they're collecting game-wise?
I really don't. Yeah, I don't really have any game collection stuff, gaming stuff like that. No, I don't really have anything.
I've go ahead.
I was going to say the only thing for me is I dabbled a little bit in the Fallout stuff, right? So I got a bunch of Fallout 4 Funkos. I got a bunch of Fallout. Jesus, how bad I am at Fallout. I don't remember what are the power armor suits. I got a couple, couple of those things. I got the bomb that you were selling these things at GameStop. It just looks like a big Fallout bomb. You press it and it makes like an explosion sound. If I had if we weren't in the process of like looking at houses and stuff like that, I might go more deeper down that road. Because I really do like that universe, especially Fallout 4. Haven't played the other ones. Fallout 4 is really one of my all-time favorite games. I might have more collectible stuff like that on the walls, but there's no sense of buying that stuff now and then having to pack it up and move. So, What about you, Jeremy? Besides your MC Chris, a game-worn performance clothing that you go through great lengths to acquire, anything else that you sort of collect?
No, I mean, I have some stuff. Like I still have my old Atari 2600 and 800 XL and stuff like that, and all the games that came with those. But I'm not like actively trying to get more of them or anything like that. So, I mean, I have collected some things, but I'm not actively collecting more of anything.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, Vaughn, thanks for calling in as usual. Thanks for the great question.
Mm-hmm.
And we only have one gentleman left, and that's Dub F. Let's hear from Double F.
Bad Fodder Figures. What is up, gentlemen? Double F calling in. Let me start out, gentlemen, with just throwing a little bit of praise my own way. Yes, I said Monday, February 19th. It is 4:50 on the East Coast, and I, Double F, have not only downloaded, completely listened to, but I am also calling into the podcast. Huh? Record time for me, gentlemen. I've never knocked this stuff out like this. This is one of those days where the sun is just shining down bright, even though it's raining. Anyway, gentlemen, here is my question. How do you feel about these video game companies when they release these extra video game devices? Let's just use the Switch for an example, because that's why I'm calling in thinking of it. This extra docking station for the Switch is $90. $90. I mean, it's on sale right now, yes, so please don't tell me it's on sale. I know it's on sale. But really, $90? Really? I don't understand where the value comes in at. I understand these people put a lot of time and effort into making games. I'm all for the guy working hard, making a buck. Everybody deserves to make money on their company with their product. I'm all for it. But I kind of feel like I'm being taken advantage of for $90 for a piece of plastic with a cord. I mean, come on. Imagine the hot dogs and the mustard I could buy for $90.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a shot at you, Captain Mike. All right, I'll bring it back around to relate to you better, Captain Mike. Imagine the beer you could buy for $90. Just hold on a minute now, wait a minute. All right, maybe you couldn't buy a lot. Craft beer is expensive, and for $90, you're probably looking at maybe 2.5 cases. I don't know. Well, it's still in all, it's 2.5 cases. But anyway, really, no, for real.
I'm just wondering if you think these companies should maybe lay off a little bit on their pricing on these extra type things. Did we cause this by not wanting to pay the full price for video games, and they're trying to make it up some other way?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm going to make sure I keep this call under 3 minutes, too. I don't want to be long-winded.
Matt's got bedtime
gentlemen,
soon.
I guess that's all I have. Shout out to everyone who listens. Bigger shout out to everyone who calls in. Hope everyone listening, calling in, and anywhere has a great week. Stay healthy, be good, and arrivederci.
All right, Fred, thanks as always. I am looking through online. I can't tell if it's a price drop or it's on sale. It was $89.99. Now it's $59.99. A lot of places are saying price drop, but I can't tell if that's a sale or what. Anyways, since he said he already knows about that, yes, it is a very cheap plastic thing that shouldn't cost that much. Nintendo is notorious. There's a thing out there called the Nintendo tax. For whatever reason, their first-party stuff, whether it's games, peripherals, or whatever, are always overpriced. I don't know if that comes from Japan, stockholders, arrogance. I don't know what it comes from, but they're just the way it is. Now, I will say they're in a situation, a can't-lose situation, because the Wii U, many people said I should be able to buy another gamepad, right? So I can, have two people playing a gamepad or something like that, and they never did it. Now, with this thing, they come out with the docking station, another one, and because it's priced too high, people are getting on them for that. I mean, the docking station, if it was reasonably priced, I'd say $59.99 is a reasonable price for it. Some people could argue that it should be lower, but I think $59.99 in the grand scheme of things, gaming-wise, that's what a brand new game cost. I don't think it's outrageous at that price. You could now take it to another. So now basically you can have two of these things, and if a kid's on one, or your wife is on one TV, you have this hooked up to the other TV, and you plop it in. You don't have to buy two systems now, right? So I think for $60, that's a win. $99 or $89.99 is a little steep.
So how much is a pair of the controllers or Funcon Joy? Whatever they're called.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I never even used Joy-Cons. I haven't used them once. I mean, mine are stuck on the Switch. I could take them off, but I haven't because I have no interest in that. But I want to say,
probably 60, somewhere around there. Would you say? So, and I guess because I agree with him, because the way I see it is, even if you say that base is 60, and if you say those Joy-Cons are 60, that means that you're telling me that everything else in that box, which is basically the main unit, is worth about 180. If you do the math. Now, I know it doesn't always work out that way, but we all know that the most important and most expensive thing in that thing is the actual unit or the screen and everything that's in it. So yeah, they will always do that, and especially with something like the Switch, that's a portable device. That's almost like your cell phone. 95% of the people who get a cell phone, they get a screen protector for it. Another like 85 to 90% get a case for it. So if you're looking to buy a Switch, the price tag may say $300, but if you want anything extra or even just the base stuff to protect it, you're probably looking at another easy $50 between a case, a screen protector, and then of course that doesn't even come with any games in most cases. So I think at the end of the day, these things are more expensive than what they should be, or what they're advertised already. And I think that stuff like that, I think in your mind, sure, the value of paying $60 to have that comfort is absolutely there, but the actual what you're getting in the box, I think, is what Fred's talking about. It's not even close.
I mean, the markup on that has to be ridiculous.
Right.
I don't I mean, it's got two USB ports. It's got a USB-C port inside of it. It's obviously got HDMI.
Right.
Maybe there's only HDMI in the side. I want to say there's two ports inside, one USB and one HDMI, and then it's got two USBs on the outside. I mean, and it's it's not thick plastic by any means. It's not flimsy either, but it's it's just regular plastic.
Right.
And I just looked at Joy-Con prices, $79.99.
Oh, geez. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, and again, I know it doesn't work that way. I know you can't just piecemeal everything in that box. But when you're pricing those things on the side, that's what that tells me is that's where you're making your money.
I also think, Xbox, their controllers right now, I think if you went out and bought, like, some of their not vanilla controllers, like if you went out and bought, like, a Sea of Thieves controller or you bought, like, some of those camo controllers, those things aren't the base price for controllers either. They mark those things up.
Right.
So Sea of Thieves controllers, $100.
Jesus.
Wow.
And it's just the skin job or the paint job, right? It's not. Right. It doesn't do anything different.
I think the skull lights up. The skull is like fluorescent. I think so at night when you're playing, it lights up. There's some sort of fluorescent aspect to the controller. They're saying it's their most in-depth controller ever. As far as not the Elite, obviously, but
yeah.
So I think they're all kind of guilty of that. I mean, the Vita, right, had the proprietary memory.
Oh yeah.
Right? So,
Sony's always been terrible about that.
They're all guilty of it, right? It's an expensive hobby, Fred. No two ways about it. They get you coming and going. And there could be some truth to it that, we get a lot of free games. We talked about games with gold tonight. We talked about the indie thing that Twitch is doing. There could be some credence to that they're making up for on the back end. Although I think Nintendo's always been overpriced and stuff. And they don't give out many games at all, right? That I can think of. So
no, you go into a GameStop and their used stuff is always $5 or $10 cheaper than the new. And the new is always $60 or whatever. It almost never drops.
Yeah. So those are all the voicemails. Thanks for everybody that called in.
Yeah,
Matt,
thanks everybody.
Do you have any terrible topics this week, Matt?
I do. If you want to go over some, it's up to you.
Okay.
Might be women of the night walking around, broadcasting out their anuses. Like 70s Harry.
Oh, nice.
Oh, look at that. Burn it up. I'm right down in the fucking fan. Adult toys, sex crime or sexual assault, vaginas. Jesus fucking Christ.
All right, who's got the GPS on the rub and tug?
Every time.
It gets me every time. Someone should play that last night when we was playing the Scream. Okay. All right, I got 3 stories here, but we're going to do 2. Only do 2 of them here. Paris opens doors to France's first ever sex doll brothel. Sex doll brothel. A couple weeks ago we talked about, fleshlights and cleaning them, stuff like that. So just imagine having to clean the dolls from a sex doll brothel. It says here France changed its laws in 2016 to make paying for sex illegal, but the laws didn't say anything about paying for sex with a silicone doll. And perhaps with this in mind, a new brothel has opened in Paris where customers can pay to fulfill almost all their sexual desires. The official X-Dolls site advertises that it has 3 different dolls on offer: Lily, Sophia, and Kim, complete with pictures of each. The whole operation is shrouded in secrecy. In fact, the official website doesn't even offer an address for the brothel. To find the location, would-be customers will have to pay for a session with a doll, which comes at a cost of £89 for an hour, £149 for 2 hours, and £19 for the optional virtual reality edition, wherever that is. That could be interesting. While sex doll brothel is new for Paris, other European cities have embraced the trend in recent years. There have been sex dolls for hire for 3 years in Gateshead in the UK, which made headlines for its "Try Before You Buy" policy. There you go. See, Jeremy, there you go. You can try before you buy. More recently, a sex doll brothel opened up last week in the red light district of Amsterdam. A very famous district there. Mike, you've been there before, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Very dirty place.
Is it really?
Yeah.
There's a lot of tourists there. Is it tourist here? A lot of people curious.
This was 99, so they 18 years. They probably cleaned it up, but the water was dirty. Like, they have those floating houses out there. People just crapping right into the river there. Yeah, dirty.
Oh, they're all busy playing Ultima 9.
Europe got its first ever sex doll brothel when it opened in the Spanish city of Barcelona last February. These are totally realistic dolls, but both in the movement of their joints to their touch of their skin that will allow you to fulfill all your fantasies. You guys think about that? Anything that's going to come to America anytime soon? Since brothels only in Vegas, so you can do that. But
I just think there's people out there that, my mother has this saying, you see someone, how could he or she ever find someone that would be interested in them, blah, blah, blah. There's a sock for every old shoe, was her saying, right? There's people out there, every sort of, kink or fantasy, shit will take off. I'm sure there's people that want to go fucking hump a sex doll because someone humped a doll before them,
Yeah.
They want sloppy seconds from a sex doll.
Ugh.
Yeah. Who has to clean? Do you have to clean your own, or do they have
like a Hoover vacuum? They just put up like a wet vac to that thing.
Oh yeah,
it's like them vacuums that the dentists use in your mouth. You stuff it up in there, and get all the slop out.
I will say this about Europe. We stayed at a lot of like different like hotels there, and they were always pushing technology. They're the first place I ever heard of that had like self-cleaning bathrooms, so you could just go out and take a piss like right out in the center of town. They just walk into these things that look like a bigger phone booth, right? And then the thing closes behind you after you leave, and it cleans itself. So those are things that are in like Boston now and stuff like that. Actually, in I think Amsterdam, they just have like a pissing rock that everybody can go up to, like a trough. They don't, but in France. We stayed at this hotel one time. It was a self-cleaning like shower and everything. So you'd go in, you'd have the whole shower to yourself, and it wasn't small like a cruise boat shower. If you've ever been on a cruise boat or an airplane, right? It was a spacious shower and stuff like that. But once you locked out, it knew you weren't in there anymore. It locked behind you and it cleaned the whole thing. Sort of sterilization. So I guess a long-winded way of saying maybe. Doesn't sound like it because it's underground here, but maybe there's some sort of self-cleaning service. They stick these dolls in and they get, sort of whitewashed and they come out, sanitary. But I doubt it.
Yeah. A month from now, he's going to be reading the story about the first person to catch STDs from a doll. Yeah.
Doll. Yeah. As we did last week, I'm going to let you gentlemen choose the next story. I'm going to say pole or men.
Sounds like the same thing.
Yeah, it's
men or pole. Jeremy, go ahead, Jeremy. The pleasure is mine, Jeremy. Let you pick.
Thank you. Oh, how nice of you. Give me your nice pole, Matt. Give me your nicest pole that you've got.
Greasy pole.
Okay, here we go. You're going to love it. Care home, another word for old person's home, hires pole dancers to keep elderly residents entertained. A care home has hired pole dancers to keep its elderly residents entertained. Pictures from the latest performance show, residents watching the dancers acrobatically spin around a metal pole in sports bras and knickers. It's been branded inappropriate by local counselors who say they were staggered by the choice of entertainment. But bosses at Farmill Grange Home in Christchurch, Dorset, Jesus Christ, what a fucking long ass name, defended its decision to hire the dancers, the youngest being 10 years old. Izzy Nichols, operations and quality director for Encore Care Homes, which runs this home, says relatives and residents requested more modern style activities. So they got a bunch of pictures here of these women dancing around the poles here. Odds and ends of women there. Residents were given several choices of activity and specifically chose for a local pole dancing company to perform. She added that Encore Care Homes is proud to challenge stereotypes and will continue to offer our residents the choice to experience appropriate, new, and progressive activities. However, Counselor Peter Hall said it is inappropriate to see pole dancers in a care home. It's not really the sort of entertainment I would have thought that the residents wanted or would have encouraged, he said. So then I got more pictures here and that. But, so these residents, they've been, asking for a pole dance. They gave some choices, and the pole dancers won. And there's some pictures here, a bunch of guys sitting around watching these women dance around this pole. And it's more power to them, these old guys here, And,
they need something for the bank.
I mean, they're not stripping, right? They're clothed, so it's not really any different than if you put them all on a bus and took them to see, Cirque du Soleil or something like that, right?
I mean, when you look at them here, they're no more It's actually more than a bikini. A lot of these women are dressed in. So
now, I won't ask you about your wives, but we've seen these things, on social media that there's probably some men that are into it as well, but there's women that are using this as another exercise technique, right? So, you got people that go to spin classes, aerobics, CrossFit. There's also, a segment out there that do sort of pole dancing as a workout. I'm not sure if you've seen these. But they are learning. I've been in a gentleman's club a couple 2-3 times, right? And
my.
And you've seen these women on the poles, right? And when you watch these other people sort of do exercise in the poles, their moves are not that much different, except the clothing. So, and I know some people get them in their house, and then their landlords complain because the weight restriction on these things sometimes can go through the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to see my wife do it just because maybe I do because she's clumsy as fuck. So I'd like to see her try and spin around this thing and stay on top of it or something.
There's a lot of great blooper reels on shit like that.
Oh, I can imagine. There's all types of stuff. Oh, it would be quite interesting. Yeah, I don't think it would turn me on.
No.
It'd make me laugh more than anything.
All right. Any other topics, Matt? Terrible topics?
No, that's it for this week.
No, very good, very good. Let's get into the shout-outs, but before that, Matt, let's circle back to the scavenger hunt.
Yes, sir.
And
yep.
Why don't we recap question 1?
Okay, question 1 was, what game do we need to play to appease our Discord fans? All right. Okay. And question 2 for week 2 is, what beer did Matt drink? And let's be very specific. There was 5 words that I used to name this beer.
Really? Got to give all 5 words?
Yes, sir.
We'll see about that. I'm the one getting the emails.
It was very.
I think 2 of the 5 were the same word. So
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Give us your best answers out there, people. And again, I'll direct your attention to tiny.cc/BFF Hunt. That's HUNT. Get those answers in. Again, you can win a PUBG code for Xbox, a Amazon Echo, and a $60 game card. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Bring them all here. Matt, let's get into some shout-outs.
Shout out everyone from Saturday night for the Rainbow Six game night. That was a lot of fun with everybody there, and thanks for the help and playing along with us and having a good time with us. I very much enjoyed that, and thanks to everyone and the new callers we had come in for the voicemails this week. Very much fun.
Yeah, especially
I enjoy the interaction. Yeah, I enjoy the interaction.
All right, Jeremy.
A big, huge shout out to Mark and Jay. Based on our straw poll last night, that accounts for over half of our listeners. I'm not going to say which ones, just Mark and Jay. You know who you are. I also wanted to say thanks to the Marks and Jays who showed up and all of our other Sherpas who came out to play with us last night in the Rainbow Six. Hopefully we can get Eric in there again. And when that new mode comes out, I'm sure we'll be doing that again. So anyone who wants to play with us at that time, let us know, and as long as there's room, we're always happy to have people in there. Just again, it'll be new to us. It's a new mode. We don't know what the hell we're doing still, so just
Jeremy, lean right,
be
right.
aware. Be
lean
aware. Lean. Mike, lean. And just as always, I like Matt said, to our new callers and. What with retro? I'm sorry about the whole Ultima 9 thing. I think I just remember it different. Maybe I don't know, but keep on keeping on and letting us know what you want to hear and see, and we'll do our best to do it.
Mm-hmm. Great. And as the name says, Bad Fodder Figures, we do require a lot of hand-holding, so special thanks to the Veterans Gamers crew for helping us with Rainbow Six. Special shout-out to Bounty and Chewy for helping us in PvE on Fortnite. We need all the help we can get out there, folks. So if anybody else wants to be a Sherpa, let us know. Thanks for all the questions, participation, listens, and downloads. keeps the lights on, keeps us moving on to a next episode. We miss Eric Glovebox. I hope to have you back on next week, which will be episode 19. Get those answers in for the scavenger hunt, and leave us voicemails. Matt, what's the number again?
508-659-BFFS.
All right, very good. This has been episode 18. Next week is 19. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Poor Matt.
Well, shit. God damn it. Fuckers, you get me all nervous. It's true. Jesus Christ.